Well, President Biden is expected to address the latest economic turmoil during a speech in Philadelphia later this morning. And it comes as the White House scrambles to respond to soaring inflation, high gas prices, and stock market uncertainty, especially ahead of crucial November midterm elections. So for more on this, we want to bring in CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. So Nancy, the gains made by President Biden at the beginning of his time in office have basically been wiped out. What are we hearing from the White House?
What you're hearing from the White House, Anne Marie, is what you hear from most politicians when they're facing bad news. They pivot. And in this case, they don't want to talk that much about the stock market, at least not yet. Instead, they are trying to focus on areas of the economy where there are brighter numbers. So, for example, when the White House press secretary was asked about stocks moving into a bear market yesterday, she pivoted and talked about the job numbers, the fact that millions of jobs have been created over the course of the Biden presidency. We're at historically low unemployment rates. And beyond that, made the case that the challenges that the U.S. is facing when it comes to inflation are challenges that basically in the entire globe is facing as a result of both the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine. Basically, we're all in on this together.
So that last bit is what I want to get to, because, you know, often when we're talking about gas prices and even inflation, particularly now, we're talking about world events in addition to what's happening domestically. You know, there's this war. The supply chain issues continue to pop up because China has a zero COVID policy, so they're shutting down cities all over the place. Do you think that this administration effective enough at communicating this to the public? Because the general feeling seems to be, well, what's the president going to do to make things a little easier for us?
You know, I think they've been communicating it pretty aggressively. The problem is, and this White House knows this, that it is just, you know, an eternal maxim of politics that when the economy is bad or parts of the economy are bad, the public tends to blame the White House, full stop. So, yes, people may know intellectually that supply chain issues have to do with the fact that the entire globe went into a pandemic, have to do with the fact that gas prices are up as a result of nations all around the world no longer purchasing gas and oil from Russia. But, you know, that's cold comfort when people are filling up their tanks or going to the grocery store. That argument only gets you so far. So there's no question that the White House is going to continue to make it. The president is going to be speaking at this AFL-CIO convention in Philadelphia today. I'm sure he will say that again, and he'll argue that inflation is his number one priority. What they're hoping, Anne Marie, because certainly inflation is still going to be high 5-6 months from now in the November elections, what they're hoping is that at least voters will hear this message that he's on it, that he's trying to do anything he can to address the inflation that is affecting all parts of the economy.
And Nancy, thank you very much.
You're welcome.